Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into one of the world's most dynamic sourcing hubs. We're talking about Bangladesh. We're going to give you a super practical guide to importing from this absolute economic powerhouse.
So, if your business is looking to expand its supply chain, I'm willing to bet you've asked yourself this exact question. And you know what? We're about to dive into a really compelling answer.
All right, let's just jump right in with a massive number, almost $50 billion. That's the projected value of what Bangladesh is exporting for the 2024-25 fiscal year. I mean, a number like that, it really cements its role as a major player on the world stage.
Okay, so what's the story behind a number that huge? It's definitely not just a fluke, no way. This is the result of decades of really focused industrial policy and a workforce that's just been growing and developing like crazy. So what's the engine driving all this incredible growth? Let's pop the hood and take a look.
You know, to really get a handle on Bangladesh's export economy, you got to understand just how dominant one single sector is. We're talking about ready-made garments, or RMG. It makes up over 80% of all exports. And this intense focus, it's fueled by this perfect storm of a huge skilled workforce and some serious government support. That's what's made the country an absolute go-to for global apparel brands. It really is the powerhouse within the powerhouse. But here's the thing. While garments are definitely the main event, that is far from the only story. Bangladesh actually has a surprisingly diverse lineup of high-quality products. So let's explore what else you can get your hands on. Okay, we have to start with the king, right? Ready-made garments. We're talking everything from simple knit t-shirts to really complex woven jackets. Bangladesh is an absolute global leader here, supplying some of the biggest retail brands you can think of. All right, next up, a total change of pace. Jute. They call it the golden fiber, and it's this amazing, sustainable material. It's so versatile. You see it in everything from packaging to textiles. And you know, in today's eco-conscious world, it is in super high demand. And that reputation for skilled craftsmanship, well, it's also growing like wildfire in the footwear and leather goods industry. We're talking seriously high-quality shoes, bags, belts, you name it, and they're all finding their way to international markets. And believe me, the diversity just keeps on growing. We're seeing this amazing expansion in things like home textiles, frozen seafood, agro products, and even a pharmaceutical sector that's really coming into its own. The range of opportunities, it's getting wider literally every single year. Okay, so you've seen what you can source. Now for the really important part, how do you do it? We've broken the whole process down into a simple, clear 10-step guide that'll take you all the way from just an idea to having the finished product delivered right to your door. So these first 5 steps, think of them as building a rock-solid foundation. Seriously, it all starts with knowing exactly what you need. Then you find and check out your suppliers, get that perfect sample approved, and lock in your terms. Trust me, if you get this part right, everything else just flows so much more smoothly. Right. So with that solid foundation in place, your focus totally shifts. Now it's all about execution. This next batch of steps is where you monitor production, inspect the final goods, get all that crucial paperwork ready, and then manage the shipping and logistics to get your products all the way home. Now, let's be honest. Those first few steps, especially finding and vetting suppliers, that can feel pretty daunting in a new market, right? But here's the good news. You absolutely do not have to do it alone. There's a really strong support system right there on the ground designed to help you find the perfect partners from the very beginning. A great place to start is with the official organizations. You've got the Export Promotion Bureau, the EPB, which gives you data and supplier directories. And then you have industry-specific groups like the BGMEA, which is just an invaluable resource if you're sourcing apparel. They'll give you all the inside scoop on factories and compliance. But for that really direct, hands-on support, a lot of international businesses turn to sourcing agents. The best way to think of them is as your partner on the ground. They're literally your eyes and ears, acting as that crucial bridge between you and the manufacturers. And just to see how valuable that deep local expertise can be, let's look at a career journey like this one. This is MZ Joinal Abdin. I mean, look at this. His path goes from working with small businesses at the SME Foundation to a huge role at the Dhaka Chamber of Commerce, and then finally, he starts his own firm, TNIB. That shows you someone who understands the entire ecosystem from the ground up. And you know what? That kind of experience, it translates directly into trust. Just look at this feedback from an international client. It really highlights what businesses like yours are looking for: strategic insight, reliability, and a partner who just gets the job done.
So, TNIB is one really strong example, but the landscape is pretty diverse. You've got these global giants like Lai and Feng, which are perfect for huge multinational companies. And then you have more specialized firms like EDB Sourcing, which are great for smaller or medium-sized fashion businesses. The absolute key is finding the right fit for your specific needs. Here's a pro tip. Look for an agent who isn't just a go-between, but a real strategic partner, someone who gets your market just as well as they get their own.
Okay, so after all that, what's the big picture here? What are the key takeaways you should be thinking about for your own strategy? Let's boil it all down.
When it comes right down to it, it's this. Bangladesh offers a really powerful combination for any modern business. You're getting cost-competitive manufacturing, a growing and skilled labor force, and it's all happening in an environment where compliance is getting better and better, and the product range is exploding way beyond just clothes.
And that leaves us with one final, and I think really important question for you to think about. With this whole landscape of opportunity, we're talking everything from cost savings to product innovation. What role could Bangladesh play in the future growth and, yeah, maybe even the transformation of your business?